really know what's going on over there other than everybody's dumb.
The instant you step out of line, you say something that they don't like and they don't like you personally, they're going to use all those pre-existing laws and they're going to use it on you.
A woman exposed her male genitalia to women and underage girls. That's what happened.
It's pure propaganda and it's super cringe, by the way. It's super cringe.
But this latest, it's something. It's Jimmy Fallon's worse. Welcome back to Unauthorized Opinions, UOPod.com. Like, share, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Eric Butler, how are you? We're back in 2023 for the first time.
Yeah, we're back. I was glad. I'm glad to be back. I was hanging out at home in California for a couple of weeks, trying to relax, take the load off, try not to get too triggered. Didn't really work. But it's good to be back.
Getter, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Apple, and of course Twitch. I won't forget this time for 2023. It's remember the Twitch guy and remember the Alamo probably too. We'll be remembering a lot of that. So we're entering the new year here. It's been above freezing for the last couple of weeks here. I'm surviving. But we've got new variants. I didn't realize this was being sold yet. I didn't realize that the new year, you know, all the deals that are going on from Christmas, they usually go for the first week, and now all the discounts are done, and the next thing you're getting sold here is a new variant. I'm noticing on this streaming platform though, which they want us to play. They want us to play something to promote Ukraine. They've already got a thing here. They said it's play this to promote building small houses in Ukraine. I'd like to point out I was trying to talk over that and I couldn't. I was saying that's the start of the new Home Alone movie, I think.
I thought we were done with Ukraine. We're still doing that. I didn't know.
You can never be done because they just rejected another peace deal.
So
there shall never be peace.
No, and it's pretty obvious, bro. Like, I'm curious, and we'll get to it, just like how we see with Jimmy Fallon, who was at one point one of the least abrasive politically, right? Like,
yeah, he was shilling.
Yeah, he was the least, and so clearly he's making up for that. He's making up for lost time.
They're like, listen, James. They probably called him James. You resisted for a couple of years, and we applaud you for it. You stuck to your own guns, but for this new one, we really need to reach out. You got the younger audience. People like it when you sing. Will you just sing for us? People are sick of Colbert singing. He's not a good singer. We need you to sing for us. They've got the house now. Sing, please. And then, as you can see by the thumbnail, already demonetized, by the way, or limited, of course. Jimmy Fallon holding the bag of money. Yeah, as soon as we go live.
Who is it for, though? Right? I mean, it's not. Who's still on the fence, right? Who's still on the fence thinking, maybe I'll do it. Oh, Jimmy. Oh, this is great. like who is it for, bro? It's just to show their overlords that they're still on board. Or, I mean, it's not, there's nobody in the middle thinking, well, if only I could see one more song and dance, I might.
Well, maybe they just paid him and said, it's just like any endorsement. They couldn't get Shaq, so they went with Jimmy Fallon. Shaq's in every commercial, but even in Canada, the booster rate only
Printer Ink and
Epson, Papa John's, Icy Hot, the General Car Insurance.
Everything, bro.
Everything. And I love them for it, I'm convinced to buy something. But even in Canada, only 20% booster rate in a country that was fully enthusiastic by a range of 88%. So people aren't even buying that up here. But the masks are still going strong. And I watched a video from Japan that was only a month old, and they required masks It looks like or they're just so socially crippled that everybody wears a mask. But yeah, still half masks here at Walmart. Now I live in a city that's mostly immigrants at this point, and I don't know. I mean, they come from countries that, how can I say this nicely,
Are they
aren't as strict.
Hondurans? 'Cause that's where
No,
it's
they're.
okay.
It's like I can't imagine the health measures are as strict there, and they weren't. I know that for a fact. And then we're here. There's no restrictions at all. You're touching stuff. You're scanning stuff. You're shoulder to shoulder with people, especially around Christmas time, which just passed. Happy Orthodox Christmas, which is also banned in Ukraine. And half the people are still wearing masks. I don't get it. Go to the mall or something, and people are wearing less masks, but it's like the specific older crowd that's going to go to a grocery store, specifically at Walmart for some reason, and they're wearing masks. I don't know.
Well, I saw it, and this is one reason why I know. Like I saw when I was at home for Thanksgiving, it was just a couple days, but like being in it for a couple weeks now, it's different. Like to really see, really go out to the grocery store, like go places, and be there for a couple weeks. And this is gonna sound weird because I genuinely remember seeing as I'm driving, seeing more people walk down the street wearing it than when I was inside the mall or even when I'm in the grocery store. It's very weird, but that's also because I mean, mission accomplished, bro. For that established in California, like it doesn't, bro. I'm not joking. Like you saw the clip I sent you. I was just a video, a little 10-second clip of me recording my television, but that's what it's like. They're like clapping like seals. They're wearing these matching masks, and it won't even cross their mind to say, "Well, hey, why should we do that?" They just
Was it
do.
Wendy Williams?
It
Shaking hands with the audience.
it was in that lane. I don't know if she's still on the air, but it was in. And by the way, not to be racialist, but those shows have like anything after the morning news is all like a a 45-year-old black woman. They're all it's you click and they look the same. They look like Wendy. They all look. It's a type. Like this is they they've kind of thrown the like I guess the like regular the like middle the the flyover state like regular white women, the suburban women, I guess they get like Young and the Restless and the shows that come on after the talk shows. But there's no like I mean, we used to have like Rachel Ray even like I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm bugging. But they because I thought it was the same woman. I would flip through the channels and it was like one
Wow, this is racist.
one was Sherry and one was I'm not even joking. One might have been Terry. I don't know. I
That's
truly
the twins from The Simpsons, Sherry and Terry.
It is Sherry and Terry. But I don't know. It's just really weird to watch. To watch the brainwashing take place, and I hadn't watched regular TV in so long to also see they're running, of course, Rona, RSV. What's the other one? Not monkeypox. That's done. We don't even talk about that anymore. But Rona, RSV, and flu. They're running those ads like crazy.
Triple threat.
And they are running anti-Semitism ads. Like every commercial break. I hadn't watched regular traditional TV in so long. It's dark, bro.
Well, let's get into this thing I never heard of. It sounds like a robot from Star Wars. I think Jimmy Fallon actually says that XBB something.
It was Alpha, then Delta, then Omicron next. Red wine.
I'm trying to skip through it.
Put on your red wine.
You're going to tell me to support Ukraine and...
Did he say put on your mask? Was that
And Omicron next is what he says. I'm going to take it off. But people who haven't had COVID will likely catch XBB.1.5, and many will get reinfected, it says. Hold on a second. Why isn't it... Oh, there we go. They will likely get Comicron. They will likely get Comicron next. Are we still showing it there? I full screened it so I can read it easier.
I'm trying to bring it up on my... I don't know why. I should have had this tab up already.
The newest COVID-19 variant is so contagious that even people who've avoided it so far are getting infected, and roughly 80% of Americans who've already been infected are likely to catch it again, experts say. Well, that's good. Essentially, everyone in this country is at risk for infection now, even if they're super careful. Up to date on vaccines, or have caught it before, said Paula Cannon, a virologist at USC. It's crazy infectious.
Okay.
Even popularizing this shit is crazy infectious, dog. Said Cannon, who is recovering from her first case of COVID-19, caught. How does this person know how infectious it is if they're just, a regular person who caught it? On holidays from Britain. So they have the fear, of course. All the things that have protected you for the past couple of years, I don't think they're going to protect you against this new crop of variants. It sounds like we need a new vaccine, Eric. That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, essentially everyone in the country is at risk for infection now. Okay. That's
that's true.
Even if they're
Once
super
again,
careful, up to date on vaccines and have caught it before. So basically what this whole article is saying is you're going to catch a cold. Between this and the Jimmy Fallon, I don't know any other way to put it, bro, but who is this targeting? It's the lines have clearly been drawn, bro. Like the people who already got it, I would venture to say, and this is probably not that outrageous, there are more people who regret getting it than who regret not getting it, or are gonna go get up in the morning tomorrow, Monday morning, and make sure that they go get their Rona shot. Who is it for? Like we saw Jill Biden, Jill and Joe on New Year's Rockin' Eve, shilling for vaccines, and it's like, dude, it's
so did Theresa Tam. Go ahead.
Invoke
Santa Claus.
Well, she's arguably. Wait, it's Theresa Tam, and then there's what's the other one? The one from like
Dr.
Baltimore.
Fauci?
No, no, it's the one who she kind of looks like Theresa Tam, but she's American.
Wow.
She's they look like they're Mario and Wario of the medical
vaccine world.
Yeah, the regime, the experiment. Anyways, I forget her name.
Woo!
You're gonna get
Jimmy.
We're
getting copyright strike for that for sure.
Yeah,
but this is a podcast where we're analyzing things here. We work for news companies. Don't forget.
Well, can I also say, does anybody believe that when was that? Was that Saturday night? When does his show come?
That must have been Friday. Friday, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he doesn't come on Saturday. So Friday, and then January 6th, this USA Today article came
right.
Out. So the
January
same night,
anniversary, baby.
The second anniversary of the most threat to democracy. Oh, right-wing terrorism. Oh God!
On the second Star
anniversary,
blew up that day.
Yeah, they decide that they're going to run a USA Today. I mean, the picture of mainstream media, USA Today. People who haven't got it are likely going to get this one, and experts say you will get reinfected. And to kick it, to top it all off, it doesn't even matter. Even if you're careful, which means you're insane and you've been wearing a mask and goggles and gloves and all that. Even if you got the shot, even if you caught it before, doesn't matter. You're still going to get it. So what has this all been for? On that very same day, Jimmy Fallon does a song and dance to promote a new strain. What am I missing here, bro?
Sounds more like Elon Musk's his name.
I'm going to be doing that a lot during this episode. I'm sorry, Eric.
It's SBD point 1.5.
It's so bad. Like, you can kind of see.
Okay, so which one's worse? Which one's worse?
Which one's what? This or
Colbert?
Colbert's worse because Fallon can actually sing. He's done parodies for a long time. He did the Neil Young parody. He does a lot of music on his show, and I don't think he wrote that one. I think he would have done better with that one. Or he wrote it in 10 minutes. I would prefer to watch Jimmy Fallon because for some reason, some part of me wants to hold on to the idea that Jimmy Fallon didn't enjoy this. Whereas Stephen Colbert will sit there and be like, you're a piece of shit if you disagree with me, basically. Whereas Jimmy Fallon roughed up Trump's hair. I don't think Jimmy Fallon actually cares. But what I do know is that no comedian grows up wanting to become a vaccine and government shill. I don't think you'll find any comedian, and I know quite a few at this point, which I'm quite proud of. I don't think any of them would be like, I want to do that for my job. Or they just get paid so much money that it doesn't matter what they do because nobody's going to tell them that they suck for that. But Jimmy Fallon's not doing stand-up. I can't imagine that he's done stand-up in the last 10 years.
But who does
He
this
went
come
to Saturday Night
from?
Live.
This is like in the magazines when they do editorials. So you'll see like a Gucci ad, and then you flip 2 pages, and it's like a full editorial spread. Like, I mean,
This would be NBC Universal, I guess. That's a huge company.
so they right? Are we? I guess the point is, are we to believe that somebody came up with this for the sake of comedy? It's very obviously bought and paid for, right?
I
Like,
don't think it was thought for the sake of comedy at all. It's like, Jimmy, we really need to, boost the amount of people who are taking this. It's very dangerous. They probably brought in 2-3 experts to talk to him. We would really appreciate if you could just echo this sentiment. And so many people look up to you. It's healthy for them.
but it's
And either
over.
he's just like, whatever, give me the bag of money, or he thinks, yeah, you're right. This is good because a lot of people just think that the government likes them for some reason, or that company X who parades around a trans flag thinks that they actually care, and it's not just for money. And I watch a lot of Shark Tank, tons of it actually. And the more recent you get, the newer you get in the episodes, the more the person will come out. And they have the answers. Such and such company will be doing this amount of money based on inclusion. There was one that I just watched that was Band-Aids for black people called brownages, not bandages, but brownages. And it's like, one, nobody
Wait,
ever
wait.
cared
Did they
what the
get
color.
did they get the money?
Yes. Nobody ever cared.
Oh,
Nobody ever cared what color band-aids were. Let me let you in on a secret. The peach-colored band-aid don't match most white people's skin. I'm sorry to tell you. And they're just like, we need to put doctors and engineers and scientists that are black on our packaging so children get these positive role models. Like, who's looking towards their band-aid packages to see who their role models are? It's either Spider-Man or Batman or Superman or something. The
Mickey
race
Mouse,
never
I
came up
remember
in
that.
Band-Aids, but there's so many of these companies now that's like, we must have a social justice story. And it's like, you're automatically limiting your audience when you say this. And this stuff is going to dry up. Like, this racial economy is going to dry up real fast in the next 2 to 3 years. And they said themselves that they got a huge boom during the George Floyd riots. They didn't say riots, but they got a huge
What do they
boom
call
during
them?
that time.
They call them protests or uprisings or something.
They got a huge financial boom because people wanted to support black-owned businesses. First of all, it's weird that you want to support a business based on the owner's race. Can you make a good Band-Aid in this case? Can you make me a good sandwich and that gets to me fast and isn't disgusting by the time it gets there? Taco Bell. And that's all I care about. If you're the type of person who's like, I want to be on this list that separates me based on my race, then that's a point off of me wanting to buy stuff from you. In the whole world of just, let's judge everybody based on their food and based on what they can do, the purchase
their
things
food.
because of my race puts you down here with the people who have said nothing. If they're just like, don't buy, how you go lower? It's purchase because of my race, or don't purchase if you are this race. And that's what some of these companies do. Oh, we're specifically going to brown and black people who will have you'll be able to conceal your Band-Aid. So it's like, and they say people of color, of course, but of course they don't mean like lighter, like Iranian people or Persian people or Asians or Indian people or, a whole, but they still say people of color, which is gross and disgusting in my opinion. And but they're still saying they'll still lump everybody into one thing as people of color, but we're actually only talking about like a margin of shade on the thing, which is this much. But I digress back to the point of nobody cared with the color of their Band-Aids. I didn't buy Band-Aids to conceal it. It's not like you wearing a Band-Aid makes you a bad person. So it's like, I don't want anyone to see that I've got a Band-Aid on my hand. What do I do here? We need white itches. We need brown itches. Whatever.
I always thought the bandages match pretty good. I never had a problem with it. I mean, it's like, oh, it's like,
Wow.
oh, it was pretty. I never thought twice about it. But I want to say, since you're talking about the, all the inclusion, and we constantly talk about this, but I saw in Oakland, San Leandro, technically, this is like, a tiny bit outside of Oakland, east of Oakland. And I think I don't know if I told you about this, but I went to a CVS, just a drugstore, to get some things for the house, sponges, whatever, stupid stuff. And it's completely empty. It's like barren, right? And the things that are in the store are like 85 to 90% either locked up behind glass or in those weird little plastic cases.
Yeah.
And on the sliding glass doors into the building, it's like it has like a big inclusion sign. And it just doesn't add up, bro. Like nobody's willing to even put two and two together. So if you guys are suffering so badly from retail theft, obviously, that you're locking everything up, but then you're so concerned about somebody. I mean, who is it for? If you're just a CVS, again, and this is what it always boils down to, is who is that for? Who is the sign on the CVS saying we must include all races? It's like, is it for your customers? Is it for your employees? What's actually happening? And that's what I'm not understanding, is like the same
Do
thing.
these actually look this much different though?
No, those look like regular. Those are
Those are
literally the ones that
caramel.
match my. Those are the ones that match my fingers.
First
Those-
graders
those-
love these. This is caramel. Ebony.
$4
Who
for how?
cares?
Oh.
If Band-Aids were always black
Wait,
or
so is there
brown,
one for a white
imagine
person?
I
Or is these
started.
only for black people.
These are not for white people, no. Unless since they've been on Shark Tank, unless they've gone with like, hey, we should probably offer lighter ones so we don't seem racist.
So somebody on Shark Tank.
See, that's pure. So does this like? This is what they are pretending like the Band-Aids used to be like before
You
they
see
came
this
out.
review? Are you
These
reading the
two
review?
low quality, expected these to stick a lot better. Get these as gifts and fell in love. I fell in love with Band-Aids, Eric Butler of Tatum Report. I fell in love with Band-Aids. Let me get back to me for a second here. No, you didn't. You didn't fall in love with. I feel like going Jerry. So you didn't fall in love with Band-Aids. You didn't do it. It didn't happen. There was no love. There was no love. You didn't fall in love with your Band-Aid. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it looks. Oh, we got Speed Racer. I forgot to close the.
You
the
have
door.
that too? 3 times a night, people fly by my house too.
Sorry, I forgot to close. It was
Don't
such
worry.
a nice day today. I forgot to close the door.
Get your Band-Aid branded apparel.
Wait,
everybody.
hold on though. Stop. So somebody from Shark Tank
That's right.
invested in this. So somebody from
Yeah.
Shark Tank, the rudest, most
I think it
cunning
was more than
business
one
brains
person
in the
at a time.
country.
I
This
think
is
it was
crazy.
more than one person at a time.
This is crazy.
Oh, you don't want your Band-Aid? You don't want your Procter and Gamble?
Oh, it's like
fucking
it's
T-shirts?
it's not even a black person, or was it like one of these Ilhan people type of? With
They're
scarf?
both Muslim.
So
yeah.
they get the double card, right? Like so they get.
I think it was Damon John. That's not even Shark Tank. That's a review of it. But I digress. It's really, really weird.
UB40 who sings red, red wine. Put on your mask when you're inside a facility. It could be a robot from a Star Wars trilogy.
Put on your mask when you're inside. That's like the grade 7 rap. Facility with trilogy. What are you sending me here?
Oh, I just saw this. It's from a couple days ago, but I just saw it. Dad changes his, this is how we win, I think. I didn't read it yet. I just saw it. But we're doing this live. Do it live.
Whoa, we're getting bullshitted here.
The New
Punished
York
dad
Post,
legally
I don't
changes
know.
gender to female to gain. That's sweet.
Yeah, so this is what happens. So I think I'm still me trying to keep the glass half full and trying not to get too dark and black pilled or whatever the kids call it these days. I still got to go with this is the trolling. I even Fallon, come on, Fallon, that's got to be a troll. The big boob teacher, whatever happened to that? Do we still have what?
There was an update from Tucker on that last week. They're trying to sue him, but quick note on that: there was a lawyer trying to sue giant fake boob teacher, and his kid goes to the school, and he's representing a bunch of the parents, and he's like, "We agree with the diversity agenda, but this has gone too far." And I'm sitting there watching the TV, being like, "Well, what did you think was going to happen?"
Yeah.
Citation John Doyle slippery slope, but it's like, oh, it's fine, everything you've done is fine,
Well,
and we
I
agree
like
with
John
that,
Doyle,
but how
we're
could it have
not.
gone this far?
I like John Doyle, but I'm not going to give him credit for the slippery slope. That's not. He's
He just says the slippery slope is real. And
of course it's.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Eric Butler, where's your Browndages themed merchandise that
Of
says
course, the
the
slippery slope is real.
In fact, that's a good T-shirt. We should sell that actually. And then
The slippery slope is the slip. I mean, we already did it. The slip sloped. We're at the bottom of the slope.
a father has legally changed his gender identification in an attempt to gain custody of his 2 young daughters, following a bitter split from his wife. I mean, this is how they wanted it to be. Being a father in this country, Ecuador, is punished, and I'm only seen as a provider. Ramos told local outlet La Voz del Tombaba. That's right. What I've been looking for is to give the love and protection that a mother can give to her children. The law says only one who has the right is the woman. As of this moment, I am female. Now I'm also a mom. That's how I consider myself. Ramos told media assembled outside the city of Cuenca's civil registry office on December 30th. I'm very sure of my sexuality. What I have sought is that I want to be a mother, so that I can also give love and protection of a mother. Now, you may say he's lying, but we don't know that for sure because there was never a bar set for how to determine if this is real or not. It was no, you have to believe them. Is that not how it goes?
That's exactly how it goes. And this is, like you said, this is the slippery slope. And I don't know if you have it handy, or maybe we can go into the new year and start planning a little bit better. But there was that other clip, or that other post that I sent to you a couple days ago from this guy who's in the Bay Area. He's like one of these black supremacists, like, abolish the police type. I mean, he's like really deep, like his brain has completely been rotted out. And he was angry because in San Francisco, in certain neighborhoods, they've painted the bus stops certain things. So in the Castro district, the bus stops are painted with rainbows because that's where the gays
Why
are.
is there a Castro district? Is that after Fidel Castro?
You know what? I don't know who it's actually named after. It wouldn't surprise me. Those people are insane. But the Castro is like the big gay area.
Of course.
And then in the Tenderloin, where you have all the druggies and the tranny hookers, they painted up with the trans flag. And in Hunters Point, Bayview, this is true. You can look it up. Maybe we could do a deep dive if you want. But in the Bayview Hunters Point, like the hood, like the black neighborhood, they painted it with the Pan African, the red, yellow, green,
black
or yellow,
and brown.
red, whatever. I don't even know. Is it red, green?
The pride one?
No. The Pan African flag. So it's like
so
black.
Africa, the continent, has its own flag.
Apparently, that he calls it the Pan African flag. The activist calls it Pan African. So I think it's red, black, and green. And
we are all the same, despite constant civil wars and territorial battles. We are all united under our continent. Red stood for blood. The flag was born out of racism of the 20s. The flag creation was inspired by a racist minstrel show song from 1900. Every race has a flag, but I don't want to be caught saying that. Not that I am afraid to say it. Cartman. Yeah. Marcus Garvey. Listen, happy Kwanzaa, everybody. That was a holiday made by black supremacists. Have you
So,
read about Kwanzaa? Black supremacist guy who kidnapped girls? It's a good story. Glad Kamala Harris promotes that.
no, was
But yeah,
that
that's the
it was
Pan-African
made
flag.
in the 70s or something, like late
60s.
60s? Okay.
By a black supremacist, and he kidnapped a couple girls and he was convicted for that.
So here's where I'm
Yeah,
trying to
black,
find
red, and green.
this slippery slope thing, right? So, the classic, oh, we just want to get married. Next thing you know, there's kitty litter in the kindergarten, right? I get it. That we know fact checkers that come for me because Joe Rogan had to admit that the story was a lie, blah blah. But is it really that crazy? Is it really that crazy? Right? Like you can just identify. Well, you can't just identify as anything. They've made it very clear that you can only identify as the opposite sex. So I can't identify as 7 feet
And
tall. I
only
can't
when they approve
identify
of it.
only when
Well,
they
who is
approve
that
of it.
murderer that said that he was trans? And they're like, no, he's clearly just doing it so we can get a better sentence.
Oh yeah,
It's like, yeah, you don't say? You mean like all the
yeah,
prisoners?
yeah. They
Like
didn't
that
even
one
realize
prisoner who impregnated 3 girls?
they didn't realize they were stepping on. That's how far this has gone. They didn't realize they were stepping on their own toes when they said he's only doing that to get a better sentence. And you're like, yeah, that's part of the problem. But uh, obviously the slippery slope, right? So this guy who he's angry now because they have painted the Pan African flag under the original yellow that the bus stop usually is painted. Okay, so they're trying to speak your language. They're walking into your territory. They're trying to speak your language. But now he's mad because they left the yellow that is traditionally on the San Francisco bus stops, every single one. They didn't remove that. So this is how he's angry. So my
So,
point is,
Dogtown, bro. Where's Dogtown?
dude, dude, this guy's insane.
You
You
gave
could
me
look,
your card as if he was going to actually have a discourse with me. So apparently painting stuff on a bus pole is discourse. You not. You know you wasn't. I'd just like to point out that, like, who types that way? I get that people speak that way, but most people don't type that way. You know he wasn't. You ain't respond once. All right, this is going to get bad, Eric. I've been at... It's hard for me not to try to do this as an accent. Can you read this?
well, okay.
I've been asked you to talk. You've been ignoring me. And you still are. I can't. I'm a comedian at heart, Eric. I have to do with a Jamaican accent if I'm
This
going
is
to
a
continue this.
this is a softball. Who wanted this painted and why? Call Gwen about me since you was trying to big flex. Where's her housing voucher? Speak up on Charles August. How we gonna heal with that? Oh no, now it gets bad. Now it gets
Fooch.
bad. There's been
Mary.
reasons you're not welcome at Mario's events. Was
That's
the
like Mario
hostility
Party or
because I'm
something.
also black? Where was the politician professionalism? This conversation is just beginning, dog. SF Bayview. So
There is no
this is a
video. I should have recorded, but didn't. That means somebody sent it to him. I should have recorded, but I didn't expect to see him and didn't think to record. You ignored me. 2021 Shaman authorized San Francisco Department of what?
department. Wait, where are you at?
Right here in the graphic to change the Pan African flags on 3rd
San
Street.
Francisco Department of Public Works.
Okay, with a yellow stripe without explanation. You just think you can put a yellow stripe
Yeah.
on a pole?
Now, but what he's not saying is that the yellow stripe was the indicator of all bus stops. That's how you could tell a bus stop. Like in New York, they have the little lamp post. In San Francisco, they're painted yellow. So he's mad because they came out to try to,
You didn't
speak
do
their
it right.
language. Yeah, exactly. So right when we have this dad who says, "Oh, I'm a woman, give me my kid." Like this is what you brought on. So this guy who you guys, because somebody there thought like we're gonna do the Tenderloin with the tranny flag, we're gonna do the Castro with the gay flag, we're gonna do the Mission for the Mexicans, and we're gonna do the Bayview for the blacks, and they're gonna love it.
It
And
was
then he was
either
like,
a obese white woman or a bald woman. Those are the two people that do this stuff.
It could have been a Scott Wiener type. It could have been a Scott Wiener, because they have the white savior complex, we're gonna
Well,
save the blacks, we're gonna give them new color band-aids and all that sort of thing.
well, there's this committee of mayors for reparations, and it's led by Garcetti, the mayor of Los Angeles. The person who's the head of the committee for reparations for mayors in America is a white guy. So like he just thinks like obviously he's doing this for political gain, but it's like this doesn't make any sense. Like it's because he wants to be,
Yeah.
yes, I'm standing up. I'm part of the problem, but I'm also fixing the problem.
And did you see that clip of Karen Bass, a black woman, of course, because they've come so far that they can never. I mean, Joe Biden is the last one. Like, you guys have harped on this race and gender, but then not gender sometimes when it doesn't work for us. You've harped on it for so long that nobody is going to ever be able to get elected, right? Like, it's going to have to be a black woman, or like now Oakland has the I think she's Vietnamese, or she might be Filipino or something. So that's what they're going to have to do every single time now. And what's even darker is that when you saw the mayoral, I didn't watch the whole debate. It just went viral on Instagram or whatever, possibly Twitter,
Mhm.
of the debate, and the moderator saying at the beginning, like, oh, the Los Angeles mayor's debate. We're either going to have a black woman or a white man. And then he goes, the white guy, he says, "Oh, I'm Italian. I'm Italian." That's it's like these people they're so deep into their own. So it's like, bro, he's like a 70-year-old like billionaire guy. He made his money, whatever. He's maybe trying to like pretend he's gonna help LA out a little bit. They call him a Republican, but I guarantee you he's not going to do any Republican type things in Los Angeles. So of course, he's not going to get the chance because he didn't win. But to have him up on the debate stage claiming like, oh, no, I'm Italian. Like, don't me. Like, it's like, dude, be your, like, why are you such a little worm, bro? This is why they keep winning. Is because you're scared to say that you're white. Like, sorry, bro, you can claim you're Italian all you want, but those people who are these weird race hustlers, you're still going to be white. So
Mhm.
you might as well just wear it. But they can't do it, and that's the slip. That's the slip at the bottom. That's the slope at the bottom, bro. A white guy running for mayor, scared to admit that he's white because he's running against a black woman. Like, you're already you're done. You can't talk your way out of that. It's over.
I'm getting word. Yes, we're gonna go to special correspondent Jimmy Fallon or something. In any event, according to Eric Butler, no biological evidence for gender identity exists, and I guess I should clarify this is a Daily Wire article for audio listeners. Group of scientists and researchers say. Now, I saw Michael Knowles talk about this yesterday, and thought I'd bring it up because this was basically Eric's position the whole time. But I mean, it's obvious, and when you really sit down and start to think about it, um, you're saying that your biological gender is, yes, male or female, or your sex is male or female, but your gender, you identify as something else. So like you're just pretending. You're saying there's only two choices, but you're saying that you feel like there's other choices. So like you're pretending. Like if I have like 20 bones in a certain part of my body and I feel as if I have 17, does that make it true? I mean, no, it does not. So the article says, well, the term and that's not meant to be mean, Eric. I know people will say that, but like that's just the reality. While the term gender identity has exploded in popularity as a way for transgender individuals to express the feeling of misalignment with their bodies, a group of scientists says that there's no empirical evidence for its existence in biology. According to an international group of 100 clinicians and researchers, there is currently no biological evidence for gender identity, and no laboratory test can distinguish a trans-identified person from a non-trans-identified person. Despite this, the belief in gender identity is used as the basis for medically transitioning thousands of children and adolescents. And then you see Matt Walsh there. We're going to get him off the screen. Here's a quote. The assumption of the core biological underpinning for gender identity and gender dysphoria remains an unproven theory. While biology likely plays a role in gender nonconformity, Currently, there is no brain, blood, or other objective test that distinguishes a trans-identified from a non-trans identified person once confounding factors such as sexual orientation are controlled for. Emphasis original. Is that some back end problems there at the Daily Wire? Said the Society of Evidence-Based Gender Medicine. Why is there a society for evidence-based gender? Oh, it's because certain diseases affect different genders. I guess why that exists. Debunking false claims and unproven assumptions that are used to medically transition children. 5 myths. One of the myths is that gender identity, which underlines gender dysphoria, is a biological trait, according to the article. There is evidence that roughly 60 to 90% of children who identify as transgender but do not socially or medically transition will no longer identify as transgender in adulthood, and many will grow up to be gay adults. So 60 to 90% of children who think they're transgender but do not, get surgery or do not cross-dress do not identify as that once they're adults. So that's leaves 10 to 40% that actually do. So let's be reasonable and say at least half of the people that claim to be trans never do anything about it. So they basically grow out of it. That's what you're telling me, Eric Butler.
Yeah, well, this I thought was so these people are claiming, oh, whatever. Obviously, it doesn't take a doctor. Everybody knows this. It's just this weirdo brainwashing, indoctrination, whatever this, whatever this agenda is. But I just thought this was funny. Wait, go back. Okay, right. If you can gender a dog correctly, you can gender trans folks correctly. Does
But
he
the
not?
dogs don't have pronouns.
But does this person not understand? I mean, you're proving the point, right? Like a dog is a female or a male. That's it. So how does this person think using a dog is going to help this argument? I can't understand how you think this is going to work in your
He, him,
favor.
and his first trans D1 men's athlete, half Korean. Cruise. What sport does this person play? Why would I support you just for literally existing? Lane changer. I just want to find out. Look at this. He thinks this is sad. It's sad to watch a young person just treat themselves like they're a celebrity. Like press kit. I've seen other websites do it like this. And sensational. So it's a girl who became a man who's now a Division I athlete.
Apparently. Now, I'm genuinely curious as to why we haven't really heard about this person.
Probably because their credentials aren't actually up to snuff. If I had to guess,
you would think that with all the men in girl sports pummeling women, if they get one the other way around, that would be up front and center.
Yes. Asked his followers, right? So it's a girl, and this is very sad. I love how they always have to post shirtless. I don't actually love it, but it's weird that people who, as soon as you become a man, as they see it, they automatically want to be shirtless. Like, what's his face? Elliot Page. What was his real name when he was a girl? Ellen Page.
It's really funny because I follow a guy on YouTube who's named Elliot Page, but he's just a sneaker blogger. He just blogs sneakers, Nikes, and stuff. It's pretty funny.
Well, what's the obsession to be seen shirtless? You just want to show off the fact that you don't have boobs anymore. It's really weird. That's weird. A man becomes a woman. They're not always just naked. The whatchamacallits are. The drag queens are always want to be naked, but they're rarely transgender. Those are just men dressing up as women. I don't see transgender women, whatever they are, men who become women. I don't see them parading around shirtless all the time and doing nude spreads the way women who become men are always. I won't say always, consistently posing shirtless when this has nothing to do with anything. The thing we're looking at here, what does this have to do with misgendering?
Well, it's all shirtless. it's all about the caricature, right? Because these people they're living in a fantasy land. So the men who
I'm
become
a
women,
hot dude now.
they the men who become women, they they want to. It's a caricature. Like even Blair White, who's apparently quote unquote based, is like highly feminized. Like is very
Yeah,
like
she
ultra feminine. You
talks
know what
like
I
an
mean?
airhead, basically.
Yeah,
My
and
God.
it's the same thing the other way. So when a woman tries to become a man, which I, g- I mean, it's both just so bizarre. But so you have to put on the show, right? You have to put on the show. You have to show everybody. That's part of the deal too. Like especially with Elliot, Ellen, whatever her name is, going on Jimmy Kimmel and crying about Mike Pence and now coming out and getting these like weird ab implants because we all know she didn't like hit the gym hardcore for 6 months and get those perfect abs. It came with the mastectomy or whatever you call it. So they have to do the caricature. It's kind of like obviously a drag queen and a trans person are not the same thing, but it's like very similar logic. I feel like the man parading around as a woman. It's
Yeah, it's
woman.
I want to
They're
be
doing woman
celebrated for
face.
being hot other gender.
Yeah, but so like you think in your head, this is what a pretty girl does. This is what a pretty woman looks like.
Yeah.
So they're really doing woman face, and it would completely be frowned upon if well, I mean, what 20 years ago in 2002 or 2003 now, I guess you could do woman face. Ask Kimmel, ask Sarah Silverman, ask
Mhm.
any of them. They were all okay with it, but now it's completely frowned upon. So you have to pick and choose. You have to walk on these little eggshells and do what they say, and it's all very weird. But there's no going like I was talking again with my family, and they kind of let it roll off because I think I told you that neighbor, one of my neighbors, turned into a woman. Really weird stuff, bro. And they're like, "Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter to me." And it's like, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, but when you're trying to sell it to everybody, when you have the big boob teacher, and when you're doing the drag shows, and Rachel Levine, and you're trying to sell it to everybody, yeah, it does, bro. Like you could have just sat in silence and done your weirdo thing in the corner, and nobody would have cared. But you had to put it out in the mainstream. You had to put it up front and center. And now it's like, no, dude, stop. You got to stop. We're not playing that game. If you want to dress like that, you want to do that, go do it in your corner. Stop trying to sell it. We're not buying it. It's over. Same thing with the stupid shot. Jill Biden on New Year's Eve. Oh, just think of your health in 2023. Just be healthy next year and go make sure you get that shot. It's over. We already did it. The lines have been drawn. Nobody's changing positions now because if you already got the shot, you can't unget the shot. So you did it. Congratulations. And if you didn't, then do you think Jimmy Fallon singing and dancing is going to prove to anyone like that was a moving number.
Woo! Way to go, Jimmy. Sell those shares.
Dude. And
Hey,
the band
remember
members
how
don't have the mask, so they're good.
Yeah, they're inside a facility. What are they? Oh, and it's not here though. No, it's fine. It's fine here. We have fans and stuff.
So when
And
you go to
everybody
the
was
poor
checking the
people
door.
store, when you're at Walmart and Target, when you're
Hey,
the poor
man.
mart, yeah,
We don't have Target here anymore. It failed in Canada.
well, I like Target. So
I bet you like Target.
I mean, I like Target and Walmart for different reasons. It's a different
Let's hear it.
experience. You know what I mean? Well,
No, I don't.
Target, you go in you can go in more confidently if
You don't
you
feel
feel
as
like you can
poor in
you feel
there?
like no you feel like somebody if you might need help with something, somebody might actually help you find something. In Walmart, you just kind of go in. It's in Walmart, it's like rainy, you didn't take your sweats off, and you just go in there and you like
That's
wander around
fair.
until you find it. But Target, it's like I can run errands on the way home and go to Target and I still look professional. I'm in my work clothes or something, versus like rolling out of bed on Sunday morning and going to get like something stupid from I don't know.
I feel like Walmarts are probably bigger in America. Hence why, remember the loud challenge, smoking loud, where the guy would just go into the back Walmart and smoke huge blunts and nobody would do anything. Same guy as the squad guy, I believe, who just jump into piles of stuff and yell squad.
I don't really remember that.
You don't remember the squad guy? You have to look that up. Squad, and then he would just jump into a pile of paper towels or something
No,
backwards. Really ruin people's day.
No, I don't remember that at all.
But you
I
do
feel
remember smoking loud.
no, I don't remember. I remember people doing that like on the bus, on the train, like smoking weed on the train.
Wow, you didn't watch enough Vines, I don't think.
But yeah, what year was that? Like pre-Instagram years?
2013 or something?
Oh, like the that's like Vine still, like before because Instagram I think came out in 2012 and then it didn't really
He survived the 2012 apocalypse of Planet Nibiru and Planet X, and then John Cusack made the movie about it, and then we got into Vines, I think is what happened.
whatever happened to well, Facebook is still around, obviously, Meta, Facebook, but it's kind of like I see a lot of jokes now, like boomers look at Facebook or something like that. I don't know, which may or may not be true. I don't.
I'm
I don't
going
know
on
anything
3
about
years sober from Facebook.
Well, but you use Instagram.
Yeah. You got a fucking problem, Butler? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have swore.
Wait, do we have another one to get to? I thought there was one more that
No,
because we slid
we
in
don't
the.
really.
Oh well,
we have a photo you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that one up. Perfect.
Yeah, I can talk about that 1 second here. There we
Because
are.
I think. Oh, it's a little bit tougher to see. I wasn't sure. I took like a couple of them. I wasn't sure, but
what are you trying to look at here?
Okay, so
it's a high quality photo you got here, bud.
Go up. No. I mean, like scroll up a little bit. Can you? No, other way down. I guess. Sorry.
That would be down. One of the 4 cardinal directions.
Well, it's going there. Okay. Now down a little bit. Sorry, because you want to get the bullet. Yeah, the garbage and the bullet holes. Okay.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
And here.
Yeah. So this I think is a pretty good picture of what's happening in Oakland right now. Okay. So this guy's car has been shot at least twice. We don't know if there's more bullet holes on this car, right? And rather than try to park it in the garage or go get it fixed, or they just put it back in front of the house or put it back in front of somebody's house. And of course, the house is all I mean, this is the decay, bro. This is MacArthur. So
okay.
It's called MacArthur. It runs like all the way up and down Oakland, and it's all like this, bro. Garbage, graffiti everywhere, completely abandoned buildings, tent cities. You couldn't even, bro. Look, we always had homeless people, right? But now there's tent cities. I mean, under every stretch of highway, bro. Like under every single stretch of highway, there are tent cities. Thousands of people living in the nice ones, I guess, would have trailers and then tents, and then there's people that just live, in a sleeping bag under the highway. But it's just absolutely insane. And now the worst part, and this won't make sense if you're not from the area, but you've heard of Lake Merritt. Have you heard of Lake Merritt before?
No.
It was where do you remember like one of the original Karens? I think this might have been the first Karen, the lady on the phone, and she's like,
yes, okay, I know that.
That took place.
Cops on a guy walking their dog or something, or she was walking her dog.
I think, if I recall correctly, you could fact check me on this, but if I recall correctly, she was calling the cops on a barbecue at Lake Merritt because it was supposed to be no coal. Right. They were using coal, and they were supposed to be using propane or electric or whatever, because that's a rule in Oakland. And then it turns out she's like some weirdo indoctrination teacher at one of these weirdo colleges, Santa Clara County College or something. So she's on the inside of the machine. So she's super worried about the environment, and which is already stupid. So she's calling to get these guys to stop using coal. They say she's racist. The rest is history. But my point is, Lake Merritt is a pretty monumental place. It used to be a place where you could go and, have a barbecue, have a day with the kids. There's a place called Fairyland where there's like little rides and stuff for kids. It was a family-friendly place where you didn't really have to worry about your car window getting broken into. It was like there was the big movie when I was a kid. There was a big movie theater across the street, right? Grand Lake Movie Theater, which you may have seen in pictures. If you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh, I've seen this before." Anyways, it was supposed to be the nice part of Oakland. Like this is where you go and have like brunch and hang out, and you could do like yuppie things, and it was supposed to be no big deal. Now the entire lake, I think if you walk around it, it's like 2 miles or something. It's like a big man-made lake. The entire lake is surrounded by tents. Like it. This used to be like that would be like if I guess that might not make sense to you either, but Bryant Park, you know Bryant Park, which is like the fanciest park in New York, not Central Park, but Bryant Park, where it's like super fancy and like there's like a little donut shop where you can pay like $10 for a donut, and you know Sarah Jessica Parker went there, and Sex in the City or something stupid like that. It's like the highest end place, and then it gets infiltrated with bums, and there's no going back.
That diner? What's that diner in New York that's like on a little like a loop? It's in Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know. I thought
It's
you were
like a
talking about
50s or 60s style diner. And
no,
it's like
not-
on its own. It's like in a trailer or something, isn't it? Or made to look like it's in one.
I don't know about that.
Wow. 50s diner.
Not Monk's Diner, not where
NYC.
Jerry and
No.
George hang out. I did, for the record, just completely going off topic here. I watched a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm over the break because my parents have HBO Max.
I see.
I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it or you need to revisit it if it's been a while, I recommend you go back. It's hilarious.
I'm a
It's
big
better than
JB
Seinfeld.
Smoove guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And it's crazy that he didn't even come in until like season 6, which is now like 15 years old. Dude, it started in 2000, right after Seinfeld was over.
Huh.
They took a break though.
Well,
like they took like a 5-year hiatus one time. But
yeah. When they go to New York and Michael J. Fox lives above him, that's really funny too.
Yeah, he's stomping on the
shaking soda bottles.
Yeah, it's a classic show.
UOPod.com. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Andrew does DOES and Report and Opine. You can follow my writing on The Blaze. TheBlaze.com, I believe it is. I think. Andrew says TV.com is where you can find all my links. And subscribe to the website. Subscribe to Unauthorized Opinions. And we're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on Google Podcasts. We're charting in France and the Netherlands. I don't know how to say anything in Dutch, but bienvenue.
Shout out iHeartRadio, the new platform.
iHeartRadio, we're on there now for some reason. It's just an aggregate, but hopefully people listen on there. I'm sure there'll be shadow banning on there. No doubt in my mind that there'll be shadow banning on there. But thanks for watching. Thanks for Jimmy Fallon coming out, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh, that's where you're supposed to say buy my book.
Buy my book. Are you going to play Fallon again? Play us out?
Turn it up, Jordan.